What if the real medicine you need isn't found in a bottle or prescription, but in a gentle touch, a warm hug, or someone holding your hand? After 60, we often focus so much on blood pressure, vitamins, and diets that we forget the most powerful force keeping us alive might be something softer, something emotional, something human. Science is finally catching up with what many elders have always known deep in their bones. Loneliness shortens your life. Connection extends it. And when you strip away the noise, past regrets, physical pain, medical routines, what you're left with is a simple truth. You still need people. And they still need you. This isn't just about avoiding depression or feeling less alone. It's about how touch, affection, and emotional connection actually affect your heart, your brain, and even how long you stay on this earth. Today we're going to talk about what happens, physically, mentally, spiritually, when older adults go without touch, and how even small moments of connection can add years to your life. Because aging should never mean disappearing, and love, in its quietest form, might be the most powerful medicine left. There's a reason babies cry when they're not held, and there's a reason older adults feel empty when they go days without being touched. The need for connection doesn't vanish with age. It evolves. In childhood, we crave affection instinctively. In adulthood, we offer it freely, through hugs, kisses, shared moments. But in the later chapters of life, something strange happens. People stop touching us. Maybe it's because our spouse has passed, or the kids are grown and busy, or society wrongly assumes that aging means detachment, but inside your body, the biology hasn't changed. You still need oxytocin, the hormone released during touch, which reduces stress, improves heart function, and strengthens the immune system. You still need serotonin and dopamine, neurochemicals boosted by hugs and eye contact that fight depression and keep the brain alive. And you still need to feel seen, to feel that you matter. In this video, we'll explore 7 scientific and emotional truths about physical and emotional connection after 60, why it's essential, what happens when it disappears, and how to bring it back even if you live alone. This is not about romance. This is about survival, healing, and being human. Truth 1. Touch isn't just comfort, it's medicine. When was the last time someone held your hand without rushing? Not as a gesture of pity, not as a formality, but as a real act of care, of presence, of saying, I see you. I'm here. For many people after 60, those moments become rare. And with them, something begins to fade inside, something the body still desperately needs. Because physical touch isn't just emotional, it's chemical, it's neurological, it's life-extending. When someone hugs you, genuinely, for more than 20 seconds, your body releases oxytocin, often called the love hormone. This hormone lowers blood pressure, reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, and even helps regulate heart rhythms. In fact, studies show that people who receive regular affectionate touch have lower rates of cardiovascular disease, improved immune responses, faster recovery after illness or surgery, and significantly lower rates of depression. There was a study conducted on elderly patients recovering from surgery. Half were visited daily by volunteers who simply held their hand or offered brief shoulder massages. The other half received standard care only. The group who received touch, they healed faster. They asked for fewer pain medications, and they reported higher emotional well-being, even in silence. Your body remembers what your heart forgets. Touch is survival. Touch is regulation. Touch is healing. And when we lose that, we don't just lose comfort, we lose the immune-boosting, mood-stabilizing, life-giving force that reminds us we're still alive. Truth 2. The older you get, the less you're touched, and that's dangerous. There's something quietly tragic that happens as we age, and most people never talk about it. People stop touching us, not because they don't care, not because we've done anything wrong, but because life gets faster, roles change, and suddenly the physical closeness we once had every day disappears. Think about it. In childhood, we're hugged, held, carried. In adulthood, we embrace friends, raise kids, make love, share space. But after 60, Your children are grown. Your spouse may be gone. You may live alone, or in a facility where caregivers come and go. Suddenly, days or even weeks can pass without meaningful touch. This phenomenon is called skin hunger, and it's very real. It refers to the deep biological need for human contact that, when unmet, leads to depression, sleep disruption, weakened immune response, memory issues, even increased mortality. Let that sink in. Lack of touch can increase your risk of death. In one study, seniors who reported high levels of loneliness, especially those who lived alone and were rarely hugged, had a 45% higher risk of early death, not because they were sick, but because the absence of human connection weakens the very systems meant to keep us alive. Mr. Wallace, an 82-year-old widower, lived alone in a quiet house. He ate regularly, took his medications, and even walked daily. But emotionally, he was fading, quiet, withdrawn. A neighbor began visiting once a week, just for tea. One day she placed her hand on his shoulder as she said goodbye. He looked up and whispered, "It's been months since someone touched me." He didn't even realize how much he needed it, until he felt it again. And from that moment, his energy began to return. The same tea, the same house. But now, he was being seen, felt, held. You can survive without touch, but you won't thrive. And you deserve more than survival. Truth 3. Loneliness and solitude are not the same thing. There's a silence that heals, and a silence that hollows you out. Solitude is the quiet you choose. Loneliness is the quiet that chooses you. This distinction matters, especially after 60. Some people enjoy living alone, having their space, their rhythm, their peace. But loneliness, it's not about being alone. It's about feeling unseen, unfelt, disconnected. And that kind of isolation is toxic. Loneliness is now considered as dangerous to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yes, you read that right. In one study, chronic loneliness was linked to a 29% increase in risk of heart disease, a 32% increase in risk of stroke, and a 64% increased risk of developing dementia, not because of genetics, not because of diet, but because the human nervous system breaks down when it feels forgotten. And here's the twist. Loneliness can live inside even the busiest homes. You can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. What matters is emotional connection. Touch is part of that. Eye contact is part of that. But it begins with presence, with someone who listens, who sees you, who reminds you, you still matter. Rita, 77, lived with her son and daughter-in-law. The house was full of noise, TV, laughter, phones ringing. But no one ever looked her in the eye. No one asked about her day. No one sat beside her just to hold her hand. "I've never felt lonelier," she said. "I'm invisible in my own home." Her loneliness wasn't about space. It was about connection. And that distinction, it could save a life. Truth 4. Your skin remembers what your mind forgets. Have you ever smelled a certain perfume and instantly remembered someone from 30 years ago? Or heard a song that brought tears before the lyrics even began? That's emotional memory, the kind stored deep in your body. And your skin is full of it. The skin isn't just a barrier, it's your largest organ, and it's wired for memory and sensation. Each hug, each caress, each reassuring pat on the back sends signals through millions of nerve endings, straight to your brain. These signals do more than trigger emotion. They reinforce identity. They say, you are here. You are safe. You are still loved. In older adults, especially those with memory loss or cognitive decline, touch can unlock what words can't. A study in a memory care facility showed that gentle hand massages helped patients reduce agitation, sleep more deeply, express emotions with greater clarity, and reconnect with long-lost memories. Maria, 81, struggled with early-stage Alzheimer's. She no longer remembered her grandchildren's names. But when her daughter gently brushed her hair or rubbed lotion into her hands, something softened. Maria would smile, close her eyes, sometimes whisper, "I remember this feeling." Her mind couldn't recall the names, But her skin did. Her body did. Touch speaks the language of memory, and when the mind fails, the body can still say, I know you. I love you. Truth 5. Hugs heal the nervous system in ways medicine can't. It sounds too simple to be real, but a genuine hug, held for 20 seconds or more, can do what no medication can. It lowers your heart rate. It resets your breathing. It tells your nervous system, you're safe now. And when you've spent years bracing for loss, for pain, for change, that message is everything. The vagus nerve, one of the most important nerves in the body, connects your brain to your heart, lungs, and digestive system. When stimulated by touch, it promotes slower heartbeat, reduced inflammation, increased digestion and absorption, and emotional regulation. This means that a hug doesn't just feel good, it recalibrates your entire inner world. For older adults who live with chronic pain, anxiety, or tension, this is profound. Consider Harold, 79. He lived in a senior facility where staff were efficient but distant. He got his meals, his meds, his check-ins, but he hadn't been hugged in over a year. Then his granddaughter came to visit. She didn't just wave. She walked straight to him and held him tightly. He wept. Later he told the nurse, "It's like something turned back on inside me." It did. Because physical affection activates the parasympathetic nervous system, pulling you out of survival mode and into healing mode. The world tells us that growing old means getting tougher, but what if it means needing softness even more? Truth 6. Eye contact and presence can be as powerful as touch. Not everyone has someone close by. Some live alone. Some have lost loved ones. Some simply don't receive touch, even if they crave it. But here's the good news. Touch is powerful, but it's not the only form of connection. Sometimes what matters just as much is presence. True, focused, soul-level attention. A 10-second moment of eye contact with someone who sees you, really sees you, can light up the brain in ways similar to physical affection. In fact, researchers found that eye contact triggers the social bonding centers in the brain, increasing oxytocin and dopamine, even without words or physical touch. That means sitting across from someone and holding their gaze, nodding as they speak, letting silence exist without distraction, listening with your full body. These are acts of healing. Gloria, 82, once said she missed touch, but what she missed more was someone looking at her like she was still a whole person. Her daughter, after hearing this, began starting each visit by sitting across from her mother and simply looking into her eyes while holding her hands. No phones, no TV. They didn't say much. But after a few weeks, Gloria began smiling again. She started singing while making tea. The house felt warmer, because sometimes what we call loneliness is really just the absence of someone fully showing up. You don't have to fix someone's life. Just be there, face to face, heart to heart. Truth 7. You can rebuild connection, even if you live alone. One of the most painful beliefs that steals hope from older adults is this: it's too late. I'm alone now. There's nothing I can do. But that's not true. You may not have a partner anymore. Your family may live far away. Your friends may have drifted or passed on. But you are not powerless. Connection is still possible. And it starts with small, intentional steps. First, you can nurture self-touch, not as a substitute, but as a beginning. Using warm lotion and gently massaging your hands, arms, or feet daily may seem trivial, but it stimulates the same receptors in the skin that respond to loving touch. It helps regulate your nervous system. And most importantly, it tells your body, I'm still here, I still care for you. Second, seek out safe and simple social rituals. You don't need a huge friend group or constant visits. Start small, a 5-minute daily call with a neighbor, joining a virtual support group, attending a senior center once a week, even sharing a meal over video chat with someone you trust. Human presence, even digitally, has been shown to increase oxytocin and reduce cortisol. Third, if possible, explore therapeutic touch. Massage therapy, Reiki, even gentle physical therapy can provide meaningful touch in safe, structured environments. Some areas have programs that connect trained volunteers with elders who simply need a hand to hold. Finally, ask for what you need. Tell your loved ones, even if it feels awkward, that you miss hugs, that you'd like more eye contact, that you want to be near them, even if in silence. You'd be surprised how often people hold back affection because they don't want to intrude. But when you ask, you give them permission to love you better. You are still worth holding. After everything your body has been through, every heartbreak, every scar, every victory, it still deserves tenderness. You still deserve affection. You still deserve warmth. You still deserve to feel held, emotionally and physically. There's no shame in needing connection. There's only wisdom in pursuing it. Because the truth is, touch doesn't just help you live longer. It helps you remember why you're alive. If something in this video touched you, if a part of your heart whispered, "Yes, I've felt that," then I want to hear from you. Right now, go to the comments and type, "I still need connection." It's not just a sentence, it's a declaration that your story matters, that your need for touch, presence, and closeness didn't vanish with age, that you're still here and open to life. While you're at it, subscribe to the channel. Because here we talk about what really matters after 60. The things no one else says out loud. How to stay strong, feel seen, and live with dignity and warmth in every season of life. Share this video with someone you care about. You never know. Your small action might help another heart feel less alone today. Let's rebuild the culture of care. One touch, one word, one hug at a time. You've lived through so much. Losses that shook you, joys that lit up your world, lonely seasons, moments of deep love. And maybe somewhere along the way you stopped asking to be held. You focused on being strong, independent, low maintenance. But beneath all of that, you're still human. And your humanity hasn't expired, because it turns out, even after 60, 70, 80, your body still responds to connection. Your brain still lights up when someone reaches for your hand. Your heart still softens at the sound of kindness. Your nervous system still calms when someone says, "I'm here." None of that is weakness. It's life. It's chemistry. It's soul. Touch isn't about being needy. It's about being real. And here's the most beautiful part. You don't have to wait for someone else to fix the silence. You can begin. You can ask for a hug. You can offer one. You can sit beside someone without needing to fix anything. You can brush your own hands with warmth and care and whisper, "I'm still here." Because you are. You are not your loneliness. You are not invisible. You are not too late. You are a collection of every story your skin has ever held, and you are still writing new ones. So whether you live alone or surrounded by people, whether you've been touched 1,000 times this year or not once, whether you're aching with grief or gently healing, there is still more connection waiting for you. There are still hands that will hold yours, eyes that will look at you and smile, hearts that will open if you show them how. Let today be a turning point. Not toward youth, but toward presence. Not toward what you lost, but toward what you can still give and receive. Because the truth is simple. The body remembers what it means to be loved. And no matter how old you are, you still deserve that love. If this message made you feel seen, give it a like. Share it with someone who might need a reminder that they're not alone, that touch, love, and connection still matter, even now. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We have more gentle, powerful videos coming your way, made for you, with heart and honesty. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying open. And remember, you are still worthy of hugs, presence, and love. Every single day. Until next time.